I've always been interested in cars and just the automotive world since a child, having Hot Wheels, Matchboxes, playing Need for Speed. It was just fully in my system at a young age. And then my uncle was a full enthusiast. He had an RX-7 in the 80s. The 90s, he changed to Mustangs. So he had like a Fox Body 5.0, got rid of that. Then he got a 95 SVT Cobra, and I was just like, dude, like the noise that machine made. I was like, damn, this is sick. When I really started paying attention was in high school. There used to be a Volkswagen meet at the skate shop back home every Thursday night. And one of the shop managers, one of the employees, they both had the Vans and the Mark IIs. And then that was around the time when the Mark IV came out. So I started seeing new iterations of where Volkswagen had gone. And I was so obsessed with Mark IV. I was like, this is the best, you know, like the blue R32, straight up GTI. That's when I started learning about the VR6, the engine, the 1.8T, Wolfsburg editions. Like I just went nuts over Volkswagen. My first car was a hand-me-down from my grandmother, Jeep Cherokee Sport. My family definitely made me work from everything I have, and that was a time where my parents were like, hey, we got this for you, but you have to get a job and work and pay for the insurance and pay for the gas. So that was definitely a fire under me to go get out and start working. And I was working like 2 jobs at the time, really hustling to be on the road. Car ownership to me symbolizes freedom and leaving your nest, especially living in a city. You're in this sprawling metropolis. You can feel so contained at times that you just need to get out. I'm in an office all day, I'm in my house all day, I'm out with friends, and like everything had 4 walls, and I just needed to see more at the time. When I first bought the car, it was mainly just to take trips to see my family. It took me a little bit to realize that this is my access to the beaches, this is my access to the mountains. Ironically enough, my golf and the game of golf just happened to be. I didn't buy the car because I like golfing. Golfing, the sport, came after. But everything that I've added to the car, the rooftop box, all became an extension of me and my lifestyle and what I do with this thing. In the wintertime, it's the snowboards in there, the wet gear after the day's done. In the summer, it's my camping stuff, my beach chairs, and my golf clubs. What draws me to the car community here in New York is that there's a lot of people that own cars, but there's not as many enthusiasts as you think there'd be. And when you start meeting them, you see a lot of character in the cars that people are building or they're driving around, and there's this sense of like outlaw and maverick behind it. If you see somebody wrenching on their car in New York, that person is more dedicated than the person that's at the shop. That's subjective for sure, but there is something to say about living in this big place with not that much space, and you see the guy on the side of the road, got the lift going, he's under his car, cars are whipping by 40 miles per hour on like a 2-lane road or highway, like, yeah, that guy's dedicated. My eye is more drawn to the people that build and customize their own stuff rather than the things that are just bought. And I have a full appreciation and love for the things that are out of box, that are amazing, that can push hard and they look great. But I look at the people that restore, that bring things back, and those are like the trendsetters to me in this community. You go back to the Mark I, the Mark II, the Mark III, Mark IV. It's almost like a 911 where you can look at past and present and still recognize the same car. There's hints of the past in the most modern models, and I think that's the best thing about this car for me, is that it's never gonna change that much, and it's always gonna give you what its predecessors have given you. And I think that's the most important thing.